Yeah, because I want to give an opportunity to Dr. Singhvi to respond to some of your questions.
I have to
because
go,
he was looking at his watch. Dr. Singhvi, my question to you is: Do you tonight agree that this is a convenient, made-up fight between the Delhi police and the Delhi police commissioner? Because when Manu Sharma got parole, the Delhi police said it's not our business. Go ask the Delhi government. The Delhi government said there's nothing wrong which has happened. Manu Sharma, if I am not related, is related to a Congress politician. So my question to you is, this is not the first time the Delhi Chief Minister and the police are at loggerheads. This is a convenient fight when they pass the buck to each other, depending on who wants to take the flak and who wants to protect himself. Don't you think the Manu Sharma case of 2009 proves that amply?
No, Arnab, I think we have got so many topics here that I can only do a very
same
quick
subject.
listing of points. Can I just, first of all, almost everything said since I last spoke a few minutes ago on this program, I agree with almost everything, because that is constructive suggestions for changes. Point number two, those constructive suggestions lead to other bigger circles. Police reform, judicial reform. You can't have fast-track decisions with 33% vacancy. Police reforms you can't have without the constabulary improved, etc., etc. We've heard the big suggestions from the speaker from Bengaluru also, with which many of which I agree. But the point is, they have to be worked out. I don't think anybody in his right mind at the central or state level will disagree.
No,
I certainly don't.
But give us...
One second, please. Now you have to push them in that direction. I think when you have constant daily breastbeating, lamentation, finger pointing, blaming, and creating this at India Gate a scenario where the police can't function.
Sir, I have a question for you. I have a question for you. In 2011, sir, in 2011,
things will not happen.
In 2011,
that's all I'm saying.
Dr. Singhvi, 1 minute. In 2011, at a function at the Delhi Secretariat, the Chief Minister of Delhi publicly snubbed the Delhi Police Commissioner B.K. Gupta. He said, we invited you here to convey our great concern over the feeling of insecurity among the women in the city. If women in the capital do not feel secure and safe, then is it not a matter of shame? I am asking you tonight, Dr. Singhvi, was the Delhi Chief Minister also breastbeating? Was the Delhi Chief Minister also being hysterical? Or do you reserve such compliments only for a section of the media?
Look, every right-thinking person is saying the same thing.
No, then why do you call it breastbeating?
For women.
Why do you call it breastbeating?
Why are we doing that, repeatedly saying that sentence?
Central government.
Something needs to be made.
I'm saying, what are we,
so the moment there is a solutions, it won't be said. Mr. Salve is responding
to you. The point is,
Mr. Salve.
No, I had to leave at 9:30.
1 minute. Take two responses from Mr. Salve and Chandan Mitra.
Mr. Salve, please. I have something to say.
Mr. Salve. Mr. Salve to Dr. Singhvi.
Dr. Singhvi saying every right-thinking person is saying that except the central government. I mean, is he implying the central government is not right-thinking? I mean, you know, this kind of thing doesn't help. The point is today there is anguish in the people. And you are in government. You are in a democratic government, for God's sake. Address the anger of the people. Don't call it breastbeating. Learn to distinguish between tears of anguish and breastbeating. Please don't use expressions like this. It hurts.
Chandan Mitra is responding as well. Please hear the other side. Dr. Chandan Mitra.
Arnab, to begin with, I must say that I am beginning to feel ashamed that I am participating in a debate where we are discussing absolute non-issues and, as you say, a kind of Noora Kushti, make-believe fight in order to divert attention from the real issues. Absolutely. I think this has been a wonderfully staged so that the issue gets completely diverted. This girl, I mean, I don't know what is her condition. Every day we get conflicting reports. Every day there are rumors. And here, Dr. Singhvi is merrily kind of, obfuscating the whole matter, which is his want, and saying that this should be done, that should be done, and is thoroughly confused as to who is to blame. To begin with, if he could just tell his chief minister in the city not to escalate the matter further. How? And the Home Minister should tell the police commissioner to not make matters public and get into a public spat. So unless that is done and the attention of the country, attention of the administration, the police is on the issue, not just the question of the girl's life, but to make Delhi a secure place, especially for women which is
That's
what
right.
the police should be discussing
That's
24
right.
hours as to what steps they can do.
What, Dr.
And
Singhvi,
so that no such incident can happen.
Let him respond.
Instead of that, they are
Dr.
fighting away,
Singhvi,
and the government is very happy.
Dr.
because
Singhvi, your
good,
response to
the issue is
Chandan
getting
Mitra.
diverted, and they don't have to do anything further.
Your response, sir.
Look, I
Dr.
don't
Singh.
think it's necessary to. I don't think it's necessary to respond to Chandan Mitra because, as I said earlier, he belongs to a party and a set of comments which only believes in adding fuel to the fire to fish in troubled waters. There is not one constructive suggestion which has come from them except to march to the president and to make divisive comments. I think the need of the hour is unity.
Sorry,
As
all
far
the
as Mr.
constructive
Harish Salve is
suggestions have
concerned,
come from
either
us
he's
and
not
others in the
either he's
opposition.
not
Dr.
either
Singhvi,
can I
tell
finish
me
please
one
now?
constructive
Look,
suggestion
I'm
you have
already
given.
beyond 9:30. I had to go at 9:30.
One minute. Let him
Let me
finish.
complete.
Let him
I
finish, Dr.
repeat.
Mitra.
I repeat that
Obviously,
at
you would
every
like to-
point
you would
of
like to
time,
leave
the
quickly.
BJP has played
I can understand that.
BJP has played a
You don't want
negative
to
role,
face
including now not a single constructive comment except lamentation. As far as Mr. Salve is concerned, I think he's either not heard
No
me or
lamentation.
has chosen not to hear me because of his political proclivities. I don't know when
Political
he heard me
proclivities.
say that the central government doesn't have a bright idea.
I am speaking
I
as a
think the
citizen of
central
Delhi
government
tonight.
is doing all that it can.
I am speaking as a
Let me
citizen of
complete,
Delhi
please.
tonight.
Now, the central government necessarily is doing a whole lot of measures which have escaped Mr. Salve's
So
attention because perhaps he chooses to ignore them.
Sir, where the
Now,
is-
if Mr. Salve has a magic bullet by which he can press a button and get this whole thing reformed in 2 minutes,
Dr.
or indeed any of the
Singhvi.
panelists do, they should tell us that. But meanwhile,
You have
at
not even
least,
taken
they
the
should
first
not add fuel
step
to
in
the
the right
fire
direction.
by using adjectives which they and you as an anchor are free to use, but those acting a little more responsibly and you having the need to be accountable cannot use so freely.
Dr. Singhvi,
That's all I have to say. I'm 10 minutes beyond time.
All
Please
we
don't
have
hold
heard
me
so
because
far-
you had agreed with me to leave me at 9:30.
Sir,
9:30.
I know that, but I have one last question.
Yes.
One last
you.
question.
Your last questions will require a satisfaction of an audience on your panel, which I can't satisfy.
Sir, the last question is
Arnab.
very brief.
Their views are pre-known and pre-declared.
Wait, my
Yes.
last question is very brief and it's
Yes.
only to you. Give me 30 seconds.
Yes.
Arnab,
My question-
can I make a suggestion
Yes.
to him?
Okay, one sec. Before I
Yes,
make my
yes.
last question, Harish Salve says he wants to
I-
make
I
a
have a-
suggestion to you.
I have a
Okay, go ahead, then I'll ask my
constructive
question.
No, and I want to make a demand
Sir,
to him.
please
that
tell your people
Arnab, I just want to add a
to
line.
stop using the expression strong steps, kathor kadam. The average Delhiite feels mocked when you use these expressions.
Okay.
They are empty. 4 days have gone by, not one concrete step beyond appointing a committee has been really named.
Okay, now since I said I'd ask one question.
I think that's completely wrong. I'm sorry, Harish, that's completely wrong. I'm sorry you have ignored the fact that 4 people have been arrested in less than 7 days. You have ignored the fact that
Okay,
fast-track
come on.
courts are
I'm
about to
talking
start
of prevention.
functioning. One second. Don't
Prevention.
trivialize it. Don't trivialize it. Don't brush it aside. One second. You have forgotten the fact
course it
that
is
you
to be
cannot,
trivialized.
howsoever you might like to sound like that on television, you cannot pick up these 4 people and lynch them. You realize very well as an evident lawyer that the fast-track
who's
courts
saying
will do it in
lynch
3 to
them?
6 months, which is
I am
very fast.
sorry.
You also don't debunk the commission, which is going to
What
take
have
30
you
days flat
done
to make
to
changes in law for the
secure this
future.
city?
Though,
Arnab,
as I
India-
said, by all these
I'm
measures,
sorry,
not by
I'm
pressing
sorry.
magical bullets
I'm-
or saying things on television.
Hold on.
Not by
Hold on.
No, they have-
police
they have-
tied down in India Gate.
What,
That's
But
what
by
Michael
you're
Congress
doing,
Congress
what
please
you're
again.
doing,
That's all.
Dr. Singhvi, is just a string of platitudes and cliches
I think-
meaning nothing. And it's a very demoralized Delhi. You're not acknowledging how demoralized Delhi
Okay,
is.
one,
It's a demoralized
one basic
Delhi where the
one.
chief minister, police,
Complete
people are
disconnect.
fighting and
Answer, why
completely
did it
ignoring
happen,
the
first of
sentiments
all?
of the citizens.
My only issue here tonight is this: that when an official like a SDM says the Delhi police tried to stop us from recording the statement of the victim, now I'm asking tonight, given that, why was the Delhi police trying to stop anyone from recording the statement of the victim? And however political that allegation may be, where is the Delhi Police Commissioner? And I also like to place on record tonight, you might notice that on some other channels you have senior officials of the Delhi Police who are doing the rounds. We've asked them to come on Times Now as well. And they've chosen not to come. Today this girl is suffering there. She requires a machine to breathe. Will you go and ask her to give her statement again? Isn't that the issue? Kirti Singh, isn't that the gravest violation of human rights that we can see here of the victim in the middle of this political fight? Kirti Singh, you fought for human rights as well.
Yes, I wish they hadn't sort of argued and fought over her in the ICU, etc. I mean, but obviously her statement under 164 had to be taken because in case she doesn't survive. And what I would like to say is that we have been demanding from women's groups and organizations accountability for what has happened to her and what has been happening to women, and we have been demanding that whoever is responsible for this should be asked why they haven't done it.
Absolutely.
And should be asked to step down, including the highest person in the Delhi police, which is the commissioner. So I think that unless we raise demands like that, we will not go forward. There is no point in us just making recommendations. We are happy to do that, immediate as well as long term. But I think that now accountability must be fixed, and in future in the law we should have accountability in it, and prescribe a punishment which can be given in these circumstances, so that doctors...
Isn't it pathetic that there is a mother in
must
Delhi?
come from the highest level.
Isn't it
the
pathetic
accountability
that the
must come from the highest level?
Save my daughter from the cops. What can be a bigger statement? She's saying, save my daughter from the cops. What bigger insult can the Delhi police be able to
Why would the
deal
Delhi
with?
police want to stop a victim's statement from being recorded? And how can the Delhi police get away by simply saying we didn't do it? Or that the Delhi government is trying to fix us politically? Yes, we'd like to go across to Lakshmi one last time, and then I want to go Harish Salve for a last word. Yes, Lakshmi Jitendra from Bangalore.
Arnab, I just want to say this government has seen an unprecedented protest for a social cause. This is not going to stop unless and until the accountability is taken at the highest level, including our Prime Minister. He took almost 6 to 7 days to address the nation, and then he says keep peace. With all my sympathies for Constable Tomar's family, who is responsible? I would say the government is responsible for his death. Why did you bring in the police for a peaceful protest when it was going on? Why did they bring in the police? Who asked the police to go for a lathi charge
Lakshmi Jitendra.
Water cannon on the public?
Lakshmi Jitendra, you make a strong point. I'd like to go back to Harish Salve because he's been fighting even before this incident. Our viewers will remember Harish Salve has been an activist against this VVIP culture. But somewhere down the line, Harish Salve, it's this VVIP culture which is being questioned.
I want to say one thing on your channel.
Yes.
I want to say one thing on your channel. Believe me, I've spent over 3 decades in this profession. I have some standing. This entire story about changing the law, whether you must have death penalty or whether life imprisonment is good enough, is a separate issue. Believe me, 90% of the steps necessary to secure Delhi do not require a change in the law. They require an enforcement in the law. They require a change in the mindset.
Absolutely, implement.
And this government and the police's dispute is totally obfuscating the issue, appointing committees to suggest changes in the law, obfuscating the issue. This government is dealing with an unprecedented citizens' reaction. They are buying time. Don't allow them to buy time. Stay on course. Ask for steps within the law, which have to be taken. More security for the citizen, investigating into how buses and other underworld come together. What is the police patronage to all these people? Enforce Indian law.
Arnab, I'd just like to say, if the nexus between the politicians and the cops was broken, and if some responsibility was taken by Sheila Dikshit herself, by the Prime Minister and by the cop, Sheila and the cop should resign.
Well, Sheila Dikshit and the Delhi Police Commissioner,
in my view,
should both
has to be taken. Both should
If there is no fight,
both should go.
If there is no fight, let them say there's no fight.
No.
But the last thing we need at this point of time is any form of shadow boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for participating in debate number 1 tonight.